welcome to No Look Reviews, where we watch United games so you don't have to. We have a Christmas special for you all, and this is the most underrated players of Man United in our era. I think this is more of a Christmas present to these players that we're going to talk about, because these are players that are really underrated, and they deserve a lot more praise for their work at United. So let's get into it quickly. The goalkeeper, Ahil, starts off.
All right, it's going to be Romero. It has to be Sergio Romero. He's been a standout performer when we won the Europa League. He won the league for us. He made some crazy saves that season, and he was a consistent performer. Even though he had David De Gea in front of him, he still fought for his spot. He still played the game that he wanted to, but unfortunately, the end to his United career had to be a bit of a sad one. No disrespect to the guy. Love the player. Love the fight that he brought into the club, and he had the right mentality to be a United player. I don't really have much else to say. Just a great player overall.
And probably the best backup keeper in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Starting keeper for Argentina, but for us at United, like at the time he was in, he was the best backup keeper we could hope for. And that was Sergio Romero.
Yeah, I mean, one could say he played better for Argentina than David De Gea played for Spain. So
that's true. He did. There's no debate about that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Right back.
All right, right back. This is one of my favorites. It's a bit of a throwback for some of the newer United fans. This is Rafael da Silva. Part of the Da Silva twins that United signed. And Rafael went on to have a good career at United, but I think he's still underrated. Obviously, he has... He wasn't the best right back, but...
He has his issues.
But the season we won the league in 12-13, he was really, really good. And, he had some great moments. And he's someone that I look back upon fondly. And, it was unfortunate how he left as well under Louis van Gaal. But he was a great right back for us for a period of time. And, he's really underrated by United fans and other people.
Again, the mentality that he brought to the club, the fight that he had for the badge itself, it was crazy. We just don't see those types of players anymore. And, nothing much to say apart from... Amazing player, love the guy, and he's done his bits. He's played his role in United's success. So moving on, center back.
All right, this one's a good one.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I will give you a hint to who it might be. The guy that was on the floor and hit the ball with his head to save us from goal against Arsenal.
Yeah, and pocketing Cristiano Ronaldo at Santiago Bernabeu, but. I think the Arsenal moment's the better one.
It's just the funnier one, it's just the faces that he's made. But it is Phil Jones. I'm pretty sure you guessed it correctly. The faces, the memes that we've had with him, that was the weirdest of faces. But it's funny. Amazing guy. Again, mentality. He fought for the club. A lot of injuries that ruined his career, which is sad. But great, kind of technical. Midfielder, defender. Sorry, we just don't see him again.
People remember the memes and stuff, but people don't remember that he was actually fully fit. How good he was. So Alex said he could end up being the greatest player to ever play for the club, and
big praise.
Big praise for someone at 20 years old at that time.
That's crazy.
So, and pocketing Ronaldo at 20 years old is also a very big achievement. So Phil Jones for us goes straight into the team.
Next on, we have another center back that's very underrated, inconsistent in a way, consistent in other ways. Played a lot of different positions for our club under Alex Ferguson, and his name is John O'Shea.
He's a legend.
It's interesting how he used to play. He got a lot of stick from a lot of fans. He got a lot of stick from a lot of other teams. Obviously, he wasn't the defender. He wasn't the Ferdinand or the Vidic for the club, but again, the right type of mentality gets you in the right type of places, in the right type of teams, and wins you those matches. And he did that. He played at center mid. He's played at center back, maybe left back as well at some point. And then he went on to play for other teams.
I mean, he's played in all positions. Literally, he played in keeper once. So.
Oh wow. I think I remember that clip. But
he's the best backup player you could ever hope for. And again, someone who's very underrated and goes straight into the 11.
100%. And all right, for left back, I mean, we had a couple options here, but
the thing is, like,
it's-
overall was so good during, like, since we've seen United, like, he was honestly the only left back that was really good, except for Luke Shaw. Everyone else, like, didn't really deserve to be on the list, except for this one guy. He didn't play a lot for United in this position, but he is a left back by trade.
Yeah. And for us, it's going to be Daley Blind.
Yeah.
Amazing. He's the slowest left back I've ever seen. not the fastest guy. Small. You wouldn't think a lot of him when you see him for the first time. He's played CDM. He's played center back. He's played left back. He's played left wing back, left mid. Like a lot of different positions, mainly on the left hand side of the field. But amazing technically.
Yeah.
He gets caught off because of his pace, but in terms of the crosses that he can put into the box, in terms of like holding the ball, like playing the passes, the right pass in the midfield, being composed on the ball, he had all of that. He really showed. He was a little inconsistent at periods, but for most part of it, pretty
really good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Love the guy. Have nothing but respect for him, and that's that for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think David's a good choice.
Yeah.
Moving on to center mids. So this one, I think for United fans, they won't be underrated. But when you look at like the general like football fan, not a lot of these players are rated highly.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the first midfielder. It's Darren Fletcher.
Oof. Fletcher. So personally, I never really rated Fletcher too much. That's why I wanted to put him in this team. Really importantly, like Again, being a younger kind of guy who just got into football, just started watching, you see Fletcher and you don't think much of him. Yeah. But then you see his highlights. He, again, disciplined, composed on the ball, listens to the instructions of the manager. He's perfect in terms of like what Alex Ferguson wanted. Yeah. He knew how to play the ball, long passes. He wasn't that bad. He actually had good vision and good long passing and short passing as well. And then he also scored goals. He got into the box, scored some headers, outside of the box, long shots. Like, he's done pretty much everything. Yeah. And he was a really good backup center mid. Like, at some point, he was a starter for our team. Yeah. But other points, he was very much just a bench player. And you know what? I wouldn't take anyone else apart from him. And sorry for all the stick that I gave you all those years. Because I wasn't as, yeah.
Like, I've showed Fletcher love. Yeah. Like, to be honest, like, I don't think I've ever thought of him as someone who's not good enough. Like, he's like one thing about him, like I think about another midfielder we're gonna talk about is he's a great engine.
Yeah.
I think he didn't play either the 2009 or 2011 final against Barcelona, and I remember a lot of people saying that if he had played that final, we would have had a better chance. Just because like he covers so much ground.
Yeah.
Never stops running, and all the qualities that you talked about, like the technicality.
Yeah.
That he possesses, like he's a really good midfielder.
Yeah.
And he deserves to be here.
Yeah, pretty much has all the traits that a midfielder needs. Yeah. And overall, roundabout, peak play, CDM, cam, center mid, just fun. Fun to watch. A great player, and a great mentality to bring to the club. Yeah, moving on. The second midfielder that we picked is Michael Carrick. Now, a lot of people are going to say that he's fairly rated, or maybe some people would say overrated. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people say overrated, but again...
Oh, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whenever United fans bring him up in conversations, they're like, oh, such an overrated player.
Yeah,
they don't understand how good he is.
The thing is, like, the part that highlights, his importance in the club is, I guess, the post-Ferguson era. We talked about this in our last video, like, really just that when he was in the team and when he wasn't in the team. Like, he's so composed on the ball. He controls that midfield, the momentum of the game so well. Yeah. We just don't see it. It's like a Sergio Busquets, right? Like, you said it last time. Like, he very much is, like, just the quiet man at the back, controlling a lot of things, keeping everything's under control. Yeah. And just playing the game that you need to play. Like, and he was pretty calm defensively as well. Not bad at all there. He had the vision. He had Scholes next to him a lot of times, and a lot of good players next to him to play the passes that they need to. But he would be the one that's bringing the ball from the defense to the attacking side of the field, and also like kind of controlling all of that area. just an overall fun guy to watch, and another guy that I probably give a lot of stick to at that as well, being the amateur footballer I was. But no,
I mean, at that point, you only look at goals and assists.
Yeah,
Like even I didn't think about how the play and stuff was. When you grow up, you realize that football is much more than just goals and assists.
And plus, the thing is, like, you look at the media, right? They only look at Scholes, they only look at Ronaldo, they only look at Rooney, like all the big names, and they don't really consider Carrick, Fletcher, Phil Jones, John O'Shea, Romero like too much. Like they only come up when there's drama or when there's a reason that the team lost, right? So that's when these guys get blamed. But you know what, Carrick, all the respect to you. He's managing right now, and you know, best of luck in his career. But yeah, for sure. That's for me. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add.
He's a United legend and extremely underrated in the general football
communities. So people don't understand how important he was for us and for our midfield and like the balance he brought to the team. But
for sure.
Let's move on.
All right,
the next midfielder.
Our final midfielder. This is the great Ji-sung Park. This is another dog. But it's not just a dog. He had such good quality. Like he delivered every single time he stepped onto the pitch. Wayne Rooney said it. People brought up Ronaldo as the main guy. Like he got all the credit when we won all those trophies. But Ji-sung Park was the most important player in the team according to Wayne Rooney. And you know what? He played with him. He played with both of them. He knew how the team worked. And if Wayne Rooney is saying that Ji-sung Park is the most important player in the team, then he is the most important player in the team.
Hey, even at one point, like I think Fergie said that if Fergie put Ji-sung Park on Messi, we would have won that final.
That's true.
That's how good he was. Like when it comes to man marking, being that dog, running around the pitch, marking the guy. Ji-sung Park's the guy. He'll run up and down. I don't think there's any player right now in the Prem or even in the world that probably can run as much as Ji-sung Park can all over the pitch. Like it's crazy the work that he brought to the team. It's amazing. But
all right, moving on to our left winger. All right, this is a streets won't forget player for sure. It is Louis Nani. People remember all the inconsistent performances and the frustrating moments when he used to just shoot from 40 yards and Rose Ed, but real quality. And there were a couple of seasons where he was on top of the game. He was the perfect replacement for Ronaldo when he had left. And he's just a great winger, and he's someone that if we had right now, we would be so much better.
Yeah. He used to be able to use both of his feet. He was technical. He could put a good cross in the box. He could take a good long shot. I don't know, the technicality and that aspect of the game, he was just amazing at that part. He had the talent, obviously, not as disciplined, so kind of just lost a bit on there, but I don't know what else to add to this.
Yeah, and also really hard worker. I know I've seen podcasts with Rio and stuff about Louis Nani, and they talk about how hard he worked, not just on the pitch but in training. He was one of the hardest working players at United at that time, and that says a lot. The amount of players that we had, the quality that we had. Louis Nani definitely left winger.
I think it's just that his selfishness maybe got a bit to him, but apart from that, he was there. He was there for the club, performed when we needed him. And moving on. We'll go to the right winger. All
right. In this case, not really a right winger, but played on the right for United under Sir Alex. This is Owen Hargreaves. Only had one particular season at the club, but he was instrumental in our Champions League win in 2008. And he was such a good player. He could play anywhere in the midfield. He could play on the right. Another one with a huge engine. Like people don't understand how good he was, not just technically, but the amount of work that he put in for the team. And I think if Owen Hargreaves wasn't in the team, we might not have won the final against Chelsea. So, scored a penalty in the final as well. Stepped up when you needed him. And really, really good player. And people don't remember, he also played for Munich before us. We signed him from Bayern Munich. He's a big player that's very underrated.
I don't know much about the guy. I haven't seen him too much play, but definitely looking at the clips, looking at how important he was at certain points of United's success. It just shows there's a lot of times that he maybe scored a free kick. He just had that technicality about him, and that kind of play style. Just a surprising kind of character that showed up and kind of played for the badge. And that was him. And lastly, we have to move on to the striker. I don't know if you guys can guess who this guy is, But I feel like if you're a Man United fan and you've been watching United since kind of, I guess, like the 2008 era, like post 2008 and stuff, you should know this guy and you should probably be saying the same name.
Yeah.
But at strike, we have this one little guy called Chicharito. Javier Hernandez.
What a guy.
Amazing player.
Great striker.
It's just a prime example of how Sir Alex Ferguson can transform players.
Yeah.
Like man management in that sense, he knew what type of player could play where, and he used that type of player in those positions. Like he knew where to play who, and it's just like Chicharito going at any other club, maybe can score a lot of good goals, but doesn't have that overall skill of playing anywhere in the attack, but he's a very specific type of poaching player.
That's true.
And he's also very small, so that adds to like the difficulty of maybe putting him in the team.
But the thing is, like, for a small player, he scored a lot of headed goals.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, he got into the right positions. He fought the ball off. Like, again, that Mexican gene,
that's true.
The fighter spirit in him, it's crazy. He fought for every ball. Any ball you put into the box, unlike Martial, he is going to fight for it.
Yeah.
You just miss these type of players at the club. It's you don't really appreciate them enough when they played, but once they're gone, you miss them.
You do.
Yeah, and I don't know what else to say. It's just it's the mentality. They played for the badge. This whole team, this whole lineup is really interesting. I feel like a lot of these players can definitely, in their prime, replace a lot of the players we have right now in our team.
For sure.
Probably like all of them. The whole team just replaces itself. Because these guys did play for the badge.
Yeah.
And it's not like these aren't entitled players. They were grateful for playing for United. And yeah, that's how you got to be. You got to know where you are. You got to fight for your place. Yeah. And these guys did that.
Yeah. And they're team players through and through. Like they gave their all for the team. And, really happy that they played for us, because a lot 100%. Of the success that we saw as children were like down to these people. That's our, I guess, most underrated 11 for Man United. Mm-hmm. Comment below what you think, who you think could be in this team instead. There's a lot of more players that we probably didn't talk about, or we probably don't know. Mm-hmm. Let us know who you think could join this team from other eras if you're an older fan. Like, let us educate us on who else was really underrated for us and was a great servant. So like, comment, share, and we can't wait to see you next week.
All right, peace.